In the 90s, Europe was kind of a leader in consumer technologies. A lot of the brands we used to listen to music, to watch TV were actually either French or German or from the Netherlands, like Philips. And what happened is the computer became the center of our lives. And the computer was made in Silicon Valley. And suddenly Silicon Valley took over everything and we became the peripheral. And instead of fighting to build alternative, especially when in Europe we invented the web and Linux that are basically the backbone of today's internet, we kind of let it go. We didn't really understand how important it would be. And now we're in a situation where literally every software, every hardware, everything we use to connect to the internet is actually something we either pay or rent to a US or now a Chinese company. And I think it's time to change that.
It's time to change that. How can we do that then? It sounds, I think, easier than it is, no?
So the thing is, in Europe, we're a lot, and in every place we talk about B2B, about how enterprise should be digitized, how we should like use the data of the companies and create like an ecosystem of enterprise-led revolution. The way we see things, and even in AI, it's always about the consumer usage that goes after to the enterprise. So if you're good in consumer, if you have great traction, let's take OpenAI with ChatGPT. When they create such a great product, then it's easy for them to say, you see the product you use at home and you love, we have an enterprise version. What we did in Europe, unfortunately, is we do not invest in consumer tech. We do not invest to replace the stack, meaning the operating system, the mobile OS, the app stores, with something we've built. So we are basically guided by someone else's rules. And I think it's interesting because with the AI transformation at the moment, most of the big companies in technology in Silicon Valley are challenging. AI is challenging the mobile. Is it the right product for the future? Nobody knows. It's challenging search. It's even challenging cloud because now you don't want to do a cloud for SaaS. You want to do a cloud for AI. So you have to rebuild everything. So really at an, I would say, a turning point where every consumer technology could be changed and we could adopt and build that. And I think it's time to call all the builders around Europe to start building new browsers, new OS, new things. There's a huge opportunity ahead of us.
Uh-huh. So when such events like Adopt AI right now happening in Paris, how can we move the needle instead of just talking? How can we walk the talk then in doing this change?
I think it's interesting because the way you see innovation, the traditional way in Europe is that it's an industry. You know, you put a lot of money in large companies and you hope they will do what they say they do. But innovation, as we know, Apple, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta started either in a garage or in a dorm room by 2 or 3 people in general. So it's mostly about talent. And the real question is not about talent. We have talent in Europe. We have incredible talent in France. I've been building my companies with the assumption that we have amazing talent in France. What we don't have is the ability to nurture the talent, to let it grow, especially in consumer, where a lot of people think, oh, it's a lost battle. We don't need to do this. We don't need to go there. The reality is we should, and also we need to learn how to scale. The beauty of it in the US is that not only they know how to build products, but they know how to scale. They know how to go from millions of users to billions of users. This is something we don't really know. I mean, a few companies, maybe Spotify knows a little bit of how to do it. Revolut, there's a few companies.
Yeah.
But we need to learn to do that. And I think the world would be better if European companies with European vision had a bigger footprint worldwide.